Okay. Yeah, sorry for that delay there. I was just looking at my phone under my own personal YouTube account to see how the delay was, and it's pretty far off. So I'm gonna say goodbye to that. Yeah, so I'm broadcasting a couple weeks earlier than usual to draw October's charity of the month because it's come pretty clear to me that I need a little bit of a head start in order to get these charities to register on eBay. It's pretty cut and dry, like how to get that done. But yeah, everybody's busy or whatever. Like Cherry Street Mission still hasn't. Hey, Jaguar, I was just talking about Cherry Street Mission. They still haven't gotten back to me, and I told them, like, just out of my own curiosity, I'd like to know how long the process takes, and they still haven't called me back. So I think the gears are still rolling over there, but I don't know. The auction was, I would consider, a complete success for a first try on the eBay store. I've got some banners here because I'm using, well, you can see up in the corner there, I'm using StreamYard. So there's my store down at the bottom there. But check that out. I can quickly show you my eBay user account name. So yeah, that auction was a complete success, and we only had 3 buyers, but it went pretty well. And 46%, I did the calculation, of August's sales came from that eBay auction. So thank you, Jaguar, for the high quality stuff. And there's our announce. $149.50. That's in Canadian, but I still consider that impressive. Like, we've had an expansion of 30% every month since we started this. That's actually pretty much on par with last month, but I gotta say, because I was gone for a couple weeks, there's more I could have done for Cherry Street Mission, but that's in the past. So this month's charity is Happily Ever Esther Farm Sanctuary, and there's their link. This is so much better than OBS. Anybody who's using OBS to stream, at least try this out because it's pretty awesome. All right, so what else did I have to do here? I'm going to draw the charity of the month for October right now. Awesome. Let's go big on that. Perfect. All right, so for October, just so that I've got a little bit extra time to contact them if it's not one of the bigger ones, we have nominated Mark W. for The Inn, Oxford County's homeless shelter, Josh R. Comics and Gaming with London Women's Shelter, Take the Time Collectibles with Project Pinball, Farley's Nerd Cave with Gary Sinise Foundation, Metarog with Little Pink Houses of Hope, Pages Films and Plastics with All Animal Rescue Limited, Four-Way Flashes on Comics with CIBC Run for the Cure, Pocan Joe with American Legion, Ruben Nieves with South Florida Multiple Sclerosis Charity, Comic Jabroni with Wounded Warrior Project, Mr. Miracle Comics with Calgary Wildlife Rehabilitation Society, and The Comic Collector with Hand of Hope. Now, anybody who hasn't nominated a charity, no purchase necessary. Just leave it in the comments section below. Anybody who maybe has thrown in a nomination on top of those ones, there's a chance I didn't receive it because, again, YouTube is still having issues with their comments notifying us about comments being sent to us. So yeah, just leave another comment down below or find me on Instagram because that's a surefire way of getting a hold of me. All right, so we're just going to do one randomization here to show us October's charity of the month. All right, and it is Pocan Joe with American Legion. So that's easy peasy. I'm nearly positive that they are already that they're already registered with eBay, and if they're not, that's kind of crazy. So yeah, that's amazing. And yeah, Jaguar, if you go into my eBay store, let's pull that up again. If you go into my eBay store and go to previous sales or whatever sold items, you can see how much all of your stuff sold for. It's pretty rad. Okay, so I mentioned that I was going to do some unboxing of eBay stuff, but first I got to give a huge shout out to Super Russ 9000. However, it's also with a warning to anybody who's accepting an eBay gift card from another country. So what happened was he sent me $25 with eBay in the form of a card. He scratched it off and then he took a picture of it, sent me that picture. And if it's in another currency from your home currency, there's a whole bunch of steps you have to go through. And I didn't realize that. So first, I made a purchase to an American seller because I figured American currency, American seller should be easy, right? The code wouldn't take. So I ended up accidentally paying this person for the stuff. And it was right up Super Russ's alleyway, too. Like, totally stuff that he's into, and I was jazzed to buy it, but then it ended up coming out of pocket. So what I did next, because the little red letter warning thing that it said with when I tried to make that transaction, it said you can't make purchases outside of your own country. So I was like, okay, perfect, Canadian. So I went and I made a purchase on a Canadian store, and once again, I couldn't cancel the order. I mean, I could, but it would have been a dick move. So again, out of pocket. So I called up eBay. They had me change my registration over to American by giving them a random American address. So I gave them the address of some business tower in Niagara Falls, New York, which I thought was kind of shady, but they said, don't worry, it's not going to ship there. It's going to ship to you. All you got to do is give us that address and we can change your registration. So I did that, made another purchase to a Canadian seller because I was going to get cheaper shipping regardless, and they had stuff that I wanted. Well, it turns out, once again, you can't do that. So if you receive an American eBay card as a Canadian, you have to change your registration and you have to buy within the US, even though it's shipping to Canada. So that's what I'm looking at. I'm still looking to use that gift card, but thank you, Russ. And I did manage to get some pretty awesome stuff, even though it's out of pocket. Still waiting on that American package, but I'm about to show you what I got from the Canadian sellers. Oh, okay. See you, Jaguar. Thanks for stopping by anyway. This is just a test run. That's why I didn't give a lot of notice. So these both came yesterday. And the way this person packaged this, it's surprisingly stable, and it says right here, please do not bend, which right there tells you, oh, what's inside, you know, like what happened to this package. I'm sure somebody bent it, because when it says do not bend, it's almost like an invitation to bend it. But no, inside, it's this foam board, and it's surprisingly rigid. So I think this is probably, I'm going to do the same method with a padded envelope instead to send Los his comic that he bought for him from the eBay auction, because it was, yeah, it's surprisingly effective. So this is what I got from the guy in Swastika, Ontario. That's right. That's the name of his town, Swastika, Ontario. Super cool dude, though. He was willing to work with me and try to at least use that eBay card, but it didn't take. So I'm glad to have these. This is for my personal collection currently. I mean, we'll see. If I'm able to find them for cheap elsewhere, then these ones can go up for sale. But I finally found the first two appearances of Legion. My LCS here in London is awesome. Heroes Comics. If you're ever in the area, check it out. However, they're selling this for $50. And in the same condition, like these are easily 9.2, 9.4. They're solid. But I'm not going to spend $50 on two books from, 1986? This is pretty sweet, although I'm kind of wondering the point of getting this signed by Mike Zeck, because he had nothing to do with this. I mean, sure, he made the Punisher his own character and everything. But why get it signed by him if he had nothing to do with the book? Anyway, I don't consider it defacing the book, though, so I don't know why I was able to get it for so cheap. But I finally have a copy of Marvel Super Action #1 from 1970-something, and that's one of the first appearances of the Punisher. So, ta-da. I took a look inside, too. It's, I mean, the condition is maybe like an 8.0, but inside, like, that's some awesome content. The art it's all in black and white. Love it. All right, so the next one, and this one's sort of eventful. I pre-opened it, but I didn't look inside yet. What happened was there was an auction, again, from Canada. So again, I was able to get some awesome prices on things. But one of the items on which I bid was Batman 457. It's the first Tim Drake in the new outfit. Give me one sec here. Right. So, yeah, the first Tim Drake in the new outfit. And I've already sold two copies of it for Comics Altruism. And I have my own personal copy, but I don't have the error variant that's worth, for some reason, so much more than the other ones. And this eBay seller was selling them as a lot of four copies in near mint to near mint plus, and it was ridiculously cheap. It was like $10, and nobody had bid on it. So I was like, wicked, and I got in on that like the moment that I saw this auction was up. And then I got a message after I had paid, and she told me she could not find them anywhere. So that was a bit of a bummer, but I already had a bunch of other stuff in the auction. I was like, yeah, cool, whatever. And she told me she was going to send me a bunch of Batman stuff. So this is almost like a true unboxing because I have no idea what she sent in order to make that up to me. All right. So I'll differentiate between what I paid for and what she gave me for free. And right off the hop, got part 2 of year 3 Batman. And that just so happens to be the one that I was missing. If you watched one of my recent haul videos, I was talking about a 33-cent sale that I visited. And that was the only issue of that series that was missing. So I got it. And then another copy of part 1. So I don't know. Those might actually end up going up in the Comics Altruism store. So this one I paid for because it's been bugging me. That's the only issue that I'm missing from the Silk run, the recent one. So Silk number 1. We've got, this is a second printing or third printing or something, but it's still basically unattainable for me at a reasonable price. I paid 99 cents. So that's pretty awesome. Marvel Comics Presents number... I know this. Whatever. It's Wolverine's daughter first appearance. There have been some disagreement on that. Dark Knight's Metal number 2. That's the first appearance of Batman Who Laughs. That's also a second printing, so I got it for super cheap. And then this, just because I dig those Silver Age Archie books. That's Laugh number 224. Next up, newsstand copy of Spawn 24. And this, which is, it's one of the wall books at my LCS, and it's just way out of my price range. And the rest of them are well within my price range, but again, like you got to have that number 1 to make it complete, right? So iZombie number 1. This one I was pretty jazzed about because, as you all know, I'm a huge fan of Captain Marvel, like the Carol Danvers Captain Marvel, or the other one. You know, it's cool. Yeah, technically the first appearance. It's the Summer Spider-Man free comic there, and that's just a preview down at the bottom. Okay, so she's bagged these all together, so I'm going to have to pull them out after. But this one was one of those throw-ins. Harley's Little Black Book, number 6. This is the conception of Crush. I mean, I'm sure it's not pornographic or anything, but yeah. I forget what this one is. It's Adventure Time something. Just give me a second to find out. And I looked it up on Comic Book Realm. I don't know that much about Adventure Time. So just when I saw it as one of the options, you know, maximize my shipping, I just threw in a bid. Adventure Time, Marceline and the Scream Queens, number 4 of 6. So it's really just a random issue. But that's, according to Comic Realm, I want to say it's like a $40 book. Just because it's a rare variant or something. I mean, I wouldn't buy it. I don't buy it that it's really worth that much because, like, I just bought it for, I think, $1. So clearly not that valuable. Or maybe I just got lucky. You never know, because I got some pretty good luck. And then there was a set, and I ended up bidding a fair bit for this one just because I know the approximate value of a lot of them. I'm going to save the best one for last, though. Okay, so we've got Uncanny Avengers, number 16. We've got Incredible Hulk, number 28. got Hulk number 3. I already have that one. I bought it from White Whale Comics. I got Hulk number 2. That one's worth a pretty penny. We've got Incredible Hulk number 13. I can't remember the volume numbers, otherwise I would clarify that for you. Avengers No Surrender number 682, the variant there. I remember when that first came out, that one was an expensive comic, but all things considered, I got it for pretty cheap. Hulk number 21. Number 20. Number 13. And then lastly, this is the big one, number 15. Really dig that cover. The reds really pop. Okay. Here's the rest of that year 3. I would consider that a reasonable exchange, I suppose. Like, she reimbursed me for the amount that I paid. These are literally free comics, but there's part 3 and part 3 and part 4. So I don't know. I might sell that as a full set and just eventually find my own copy of part 2. And then, okay. Adventures of Bayou Billy, number 1. I loved this game as a kid. And when I found out that they turned that into a comic, I forget who I told. It might have been Antonimo Bay when he was showing them off. I was like, I vow I will get those. But I've got numbers 1 and 5 now. They're not even worth anything. I just, for sentimental value. Okay, and Thanos Quest one shot number 1. Jim Starlin and Ron Lim. So that's my big haul from eBay, 2 different sellers. And I suppose I'll be making another video, though it might not be live, when I get my American stuff from that I wanted to buy to show off to Super Russ and put up for sale, because as you know, anything that I win goes up for sale for Comics Altruism. Anyway, I think that's it for now. Aside from rambling on, I'd say StreamYard has been a major success. I mean, the video with the rambling, but the actual program is amazing. So check it out, and let's see how quickly this ends. And if we have one of those embarrassing, like me running on. Okay, bye for now. Maybe.